Hey guys, I want to do a quick series on everyone's favorite topic, uh, geometry, with slope, lines, and distance. When I taught geometry, I taught 5 years of high school math and 1 year of high school physics. It's almost like, what haven't I done? Okay, I've done, from being an educator to an engineer but for a while I taught school, and this was one of the subjects or areas that was kind of difficult for students to grasp at first. So I want to go ahead and go over this so that people can, better understand it. And, again, it's all about having fun with math. Okay, so, all right, let's start. We're going to begin by talking about slope. Okay, so what is slope? What is a slope? Okay, well, usually when we think about slope, we think of an incline or like a hill. So like if you're going up a hill, notice as you go up the hill, you get further and further off the ground, and you also get further and further in distance. Okay, and so if you're going down a hill, once again, you have a motion, you have straight line motion, and it's relative to the ground, and you're on an incline. And sometimes slope can be straight, and so we're gonna talk about that. And the definition of slope is rise over run. Okay, and we're going to begin before we dive into the math. We're going to try to understand this physically. Okay, so this is the basic physical definition of slope. And we represent slope with the variable m typically. Okay, now you can represent anything with any variable technically, but this is what you typically see representing slope. And so rise over run. Well, what does that mean? Well, rise, when you get up in the morning, you rise up. Okay, so think of it as in up and down motion. Okay, so the opposite of rising up in the morning would be to lie back down. So you got up, down. Okay, that's vertical motion. Okay, run. Okay, we all know what it means to run, right? When you run in a straight horizontal motion from point A to point B, and so you're going across. And again, horizontal. So we talk about rise, vertical, over run, horizontal. Okay, and then the slope is that ratio of where you go from point A to point B, your rise over your run. So let's kind of back up here and just kind of see it physically here. So let's draw a graph here where we'll have this is usually your x-axis, and this is usually your y-axis. But I want to do something a little different, okay? And let's call this time, okay? And let's call this money, because we can all relate to when you do and don't have money, okay? We can all relate to that, okay? So in terms of slope, you can have different types of slope. So let's start off with a positive slope, okay? And I'm going to let you in on something, okay? There are 4 types of slope. And I'm going over the first one now, and it's positive, okay? So if you can guess as we go along what type of slope we're going to be talking about, that'll be very impressive, okay? So the first one is positive, all right? So I know I'm kind of probably all over the place, but, hang with me. You're gonna get this. All right, so positive. What does it mean to have a positive slope? Okay, positive in terms of money over time is going in a upward direction, right? So if you start off at any point, okay, and let's say you have this much money, if you increase your value in any type of way, right? In other words, this is going to go up, right? This is what we call a positive slope. Is your rise. Okay, mess that up. That's okay. Okay, and this direction would be your run. So this distance here, rise. Okay, that's your rise right there. And in this direction would be your run. Okay, so run and rise. Okay, so because we're going up, your rise is going up, and your run is going in this direction here. So as time increases, both numbers are positive. So a positive over positive gives you a positive. And also notice that as you increase money over time, you're happy. You're positive. Trust me, you're positive when the money is tight and you know, going in the right direction, okay? Now, I told you there are 4 types of slope. Positive is your first one. What's your next one? Okay, we just talked about positive slope. Now we're going to talk about negative slope. Now, what does it mean to have a negative slope? What does it mean physically? Okay, so in terms of time and money, if you start off with a certain amount of money and then over time you lose money, okay, because time is only going to go in one direction, okay, time is the quantitative value that goes in a positive direction. So as you get older, okay, or as time goes on, if you lose money, okay, you're going to feel that, okay, and you're going to feel negative, okay. You're not going to be happy about that at all, okay. Trust me. Okay. We've all been on both sides of the fence, right? And so it's not fun when, you know, you lose money. So here, what did we do in terms of rise or in terms of our money? Okay, we went down, right? Okay, so in terms of rise, it's going in the opposite direction, and we represent that with negative numbers. So you have here a negative rise. Okay, so when you lay down, okay, think of it in terms of the opposite, which would be, you know, a positive laying down would be a negative rising up. All right, and again, as time goes on, right, we're going in a positive direction. We're running. Okay, so this distance right here would be the rise, but we're going down, so it's negative. And from this point to this point, we're running in a positive direction. Okay, so anytime you have a negative divided by a positive, you're going to get a negative number. Okay, so that's how you get a negative value for slope when it's negative. Physically, you're losing money over time, if you can think of it in terms like that. Okay, so now we have 2 other types of slope to talk about before we end. Okay, I gave you a hint, I think. If I didn't, can you guess what the next type of slope we're going to talk about?